Welcome. Well, it's time for Flashback, a recap of stories that made headlines during the week. Now, on Monday, President Muhammadu Buhari administered the oath of office on Justice Olukayode Ariwola as the new acting Chief Justice of Nigeria after Justice Tanko Muhammad resigned. And during his swearing-in, President Buhari urged the judiciary not to do anything to fail Nigerians, which may make them lose confidence in the judiciary. The president also conferred on the former Chief Justice of Nigeria the prestigious honor of the Grand Commander of the Niger.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Justice Olukayode Ariwola taking the judicial oath as he steps in as the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. He takes over from Justice Tanko Muhammad, whose reign was short-lived by his sudden resignation on health grounds. President Muhammadu Buhari says history will be kind to Justice Tanko Muhammad for his modest contribution to Nigeria's judiciary, the strengthening of democracy and national development.
Nigeria's judiciary, under the leadership of Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Muhammad, judiciously exercises the judicial powers of the Federation.
But Justice Tanko Muhammad was recently in the eye of a storm when a leaked memo from 14 justices of the Supreme Court accused him of mismanaging funds and neglecting the welfare of judicial officers. There was also pressure mounting on him to step aside and allow for a thorough investigation into allegations made against him. But CJN Tanko Muhammad denied all the allegations in an attempt to clear his name. With the swearing-in of the acting CJN, the judiciary will remain under the spotlight.
There is no controversy in the Supreme Court. We are one. With the cooperation of my brother justices of the Supreme Court, we shall not fail Nigerians.
Justice Ariwola is currently the most senior justice of the Supreme Court. He is currently the 18th Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. He was formerly a Justice of the Court of Appeal and was elevated to the Supreme Court bench in November 2011, following his transfer from the State High Court in Oyo State.
Also on Monday, the Imo State Police Command says it has arrested one of the suspected killers of a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Ahmed Gulak. The police spokesperson Mike Abatam disclosed this while briefing reporters in Owerri, the state capital.
It was quite challenging for residents of Imo State as unknown gunmen brought fear on the land. One of the victims of these dire devils is the former special advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan on political matters and the chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Ahmed Gulak, who was murdered on his way to the Imo airport in May last year.
We have recovered the gun.
The police in the state have arrested one of the fleeing gang members who allegedly carried out the murder.
Just recently, on the 20th, 6/2022, one Anosike Chimobi himself and his gang members were the ones who murdered Dr. Ahmed Gulak.
Asked me to block this motor. So I blocked the vehicle. Then they asked the man to go down. The man do as if he doesn't want to go. They said, I said, go down. They forced the man out. Then one of them, which answered Johnny Mad Dog, shot at him.
Also paraded are some gang members who burned down the house of the President General, Ohaneze Ndibo, Professor George Ubiozo, at Awa Mama in Oru East local government area.
The suspects who perpetrated that act have been arrested and are here being paraded.
Okay, so how many of them went to burn Obiozo's house?
Tell us how it was burnt.
They reached, they are 12 in number. They burned the house.
The police also paraded one suspect and 3 others who state managed his kidnap for a 5 million naira ransom. Other suspects who committed various crimes were also paraded. Among the things recovered from the hoodlums include a live python, four-land tortoise, charms, guns of different makes, among other exhibits.
Then on Tuesday, President Muhammadu Buhari met with some aggrieved APC lawmakers led by Chief Whip of the Senate, Orji Uzor Kalu, in the presidential villa as part of efforts to resolve conflicts inside the All Progressives Congress. The president pleaded with the senators not to leave the party over their failure to secure return tickets to the National Assembly.
Aggrieved APC senators bring their grievance to President Muhammadu Buhari. The outcome of the primary elections has left many of them with an uncertain future. More than 50 senators will not return to the National Assembly next year. Most of them are APC lawmakers. They have come to warn President Buhari about the likelihood of another gale of defection that will jeopardize the majority status of the APC in the National Assembly. But President Buhari urged them to exercise restraint and continue to demonstrate commitment to the ideals of the party.
I have noted your grievances, particularly as it concerns the just concluded processes, the cost to the nation, the threat to the majority position held by our party in the legislative chambers, and likely consequent costs to the electoral fortunes of our party as we approach the general elections.
The primary elections set some lawmakers at loggerheads with governors who largely control the structure of the party. In most cases, there was little or nothing the National Working Committee of the APC could do to reconcile the differences that exist. The national chairman of the APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, who until his resignation from the Senate in April was a ranking lawmaker, could also not save his colleagues from an imminent defeat at the primary elections. But he is making efforts to stop them from abandoning their membership of the APC in pursuit of a political future elsewhere. Maybe this meeting with President Buhari will placate the unhappy lawmakers as the party desperately needs a strong force that will propel it to victory at the polls in 2023.
Well, on Wednesday, the Senate confirmed the 7 ministerial nominees sent to the National Assembly by President Muhammadu Buhari. The nominees are to replace those who resigned their positions to contest for elective political offices in the recently concluded party primary elections. They were confirmed shortly after they satisfactorily answered questions on nation building and development.
The Senate goes into the Committee of the Whole and admits President Buhari's ministerial nominees into the chamber to commence the screening exercise. The nominees on President Buhari's ministerial list stood face-to-face with senators to prove their competence, capacity, and character as a major criteria needed for their appointment as ministers.
I am an industrialist. I have my factory in my village. I produce harmony foam.
I obtained the first school living certificate with distinction. I proceeded to St. Patrick's College, the famous St. Patrick's College, in 1972.
Then the lawmakers proceeded to ask questions on how they intend to handle matters of national importance if their nominations are confirmed.
Well, Mr. President, it is his prerogative to nominate whoever he wants. That is not in dispute. But there's something unique this time around, Mr. President. And for the most part, most of these people have no direct relationship with the grassroots.
What do you think we should do to earn more foreign exchange, especially in the area that we have worked?
I think this is one of the best appointments that I've seen so far made because of my knowledge of whom this man is. A lot has been said about him, but I think it's just good for some of us who are not from Niger Delta and from Akwa Ibom to add our voice to the fact that, Mr. President, this is one of the best Nigerians I've ever met.
It appears lawmakers were satisfied with the caliber of nominees sent for clearance by President Buhari. After much scrutiny, they were asked to take a bow and go.
On Thursday, Kaduna Catholic priest who was killed on his farm by bandits was laid to rest. At the funeral, Archbishop of Kaduna Archdiocese Matthew Ndagusu said Nigerians are now like prisoners in their own country. More than 500 priests were also part of the procession to protest the gruesome killing of their colleague and the worsening security challenge in the country.
Reverend Father Vicious Borogo is the third Catholic priest to be buried by the Kaduna Archdiocese within 1 year. Tears flowed freely as his colleagues, family members and other Catholic faithful gathered on Thursday to witness the burial of the 50-year-old. He was killed on his farm in Kujama by armed terrorists last Friday.
Nigerians are traumatized. Nigerians are at the brink of losing hope. People see no reason why they should live now, given what is happening in our country.
At his funeral service, which held at Queens of Apostles Catholic Church in Kaduna, several priests took part in a procession to protest his gruesome murder. They expressed sadness at the spate of insecurity, which is now sending many innocent citizens to early graves.
I dare to say, if anybody is looking for evidence of a failed state, we have one. If a sitting governor, he's not the first one. A couple of days ago, the governor of Zamfara clearly said, I call out his people to arm themselves, to defend themselves. Before him, the governor of Katsina State, Masari, said the same thing. So what other sign of a failed state are we looking for?
The Archbishop says it has never been this bad in the history of the country.
I'm over 60. Never in my over 60 years of existence in this country, never seen it this bad. Even during the Civil War, I was big enough.
It was another emotional moment as the grandmother and colleagues of the priest watched his remains lowered into the grave. They prayed against a repeat of what they describe as man's inhumanity to man.
And on Friday came the order of the Federal High Court asking the Nigerian Immigration Service, the National Identity Management Commission, United Bank of Africa, and the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System to release a certified true copy of the biodata information of David Ukpo. The order was sequel to an application by Senator Ike Eweremadu and his wife to enable them defend themselves against charges of alleged modern-day slavery and organ harvesting leveled against them at the United Kingdom Magistrate Court.
Last week, the news of the arrest of former Deputy President of the Senate, Ike Eweremadu, and his wife, Beatrice, went viral on social media. The legislator and his wife were arrested by the Metropolitan Police in London over allegations of organ harvesting.
I received this news with shock.
The House has now moved to investigate the incident. Abdullahi Abdulkadri from Bauchi State comes with a motion of urgent national importance on the need for the Parliament's probe into the allegation.
The motion aims to achieve is justice and fairness for all. We cannot have a situation where a simple allegation that has not been thoroughly investigated will result in a high-ranking public officer who has served and is still serving the Nigerian public, the Nigerian state.
Other contributors say there is the need for Nigerians to exercise caution while speaking on the incident.
I plead with honorable colleagues to support this motion, to lend our voice, to call on Nigerians to be cautious of how they tarnish people's image just for something, because the authorities from London or anywhere, or Metropolitan Police, somebody reported to them. We're not saying they should not do investigation.
Facts are facts, and any finding or any action to be taken should be based on facts. And nobody should be subject to any jeopardy, or even a double one, when those investigations are not complete.
We will all do well to remember that a criminal charge does not constitute a conviction or conclusive proof of guilt. This is merely the beginning of a judicial process to substantiate the facts of the allegation and gather sufficient evidence to sustain the charges therein.
The House also calls on Nigeria's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom to ensure that the embattled senator and his wife are provided with the consular services they require.
And finally, on Flashback, on Friday, the Independent National Electoral Commission insisted on its July 15th deadline it set for the submission of the list of governorship and House of Assembly candidates of political parties. The deadline was set in line with the timetable and schedule of the activities for the 2023 elections. The Commission cautioned political parties that conducted valid governorship and House of Assembly primaries to adhere strictly to the timetable, as the nomination portal will shut down at 6 p.m. on the 15th of July. In a statement signed by the INEC National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, the Commission urged the parties to scrutinize the personal particulars of the candidates before submission. The Commission also confirmed the increase in requests by political parties and interested individuals for the certified true copies of documents.